This is Colorado's very own Channel 2 Prime News.
It's a busy night, and right now at 7, the rising COVID risk here in Colorado. All new tonight, what the city of Denver is saying as cases start to rise once again.
Plus, Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy released from jail. We have the latest on his case after his first court appearance today.
And most of the foothills and eastern plains are still under a fire weather warning for another hour as a fire continues to grow right here in Teller County. We're pinpointing when rain could finally arrive in the only forecast certified as Colorado's most accurate. And we start right now at 7 with breaking news from the city of Denver. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Mauro. That's Jessica Lebel.
And I'm Talya Cunningham. The whole crew is here. The city's COVID-19 risks went from low to medium. Now, health officials say that since early April, cases have been slowly but steadily increasing. Right now, the Denver 7-day positivity rate is sitting just under 8%, and there have been more than 3,700 cases in just the last 2 weeks. So what exactly does that medium risk level mean? Well, if you're considered high risk, you should talk with your healthcare provider about whether or not you need to wear a mask. You should be up to date on all your COVID-19 vaccines. And if you have symptoms, you need to get tested. We have more information posted about this right now at KDVR.com.
And now to the fire weather warnings impacting much of the Front Range. Take a look right here. You can see all the counties with burn restrictions or bans in place. That does not include all of the areas at risk. The National Weather Service issuing red flag warnings for the metro and northeastern part of the state today.
And in south central Colorado, people are dealing with a fire weather watch right now. It comes as fires continue to spread near Colorado Springs. And breaking here at 7, there are new evacuations for this fire right now in Teller County. Cripple Creek Ranches and the Mount Pasaga area are now under mandatory evacuations because of the High Park fire. Now, it burned nearly 700 acres so far, just west of Cripple Creek. So far, no structures have been lost. And as we take a live look outside today, not a bad day. Temperature is pretty mild. The big question, though, is there any relief on the way? Meteorologist Jessica Lebel is here with a closer look. Jess.
Yeah, you guys, we do have some relief. We're just going to have to wait a few days for it to arrive. And a live look outside right now on our Bacchus and Shaker sky cam, we do have some cloud cover building in. However, that does not mean we're going to see any rain tonight. We're just going to see a little cloud cover that's going to help cool us down a little bit. Temperatures right now at 69 degrees. You can see on satellite and radar. No precipitation, but we certainly are seeing that cloud cover filter in here from the west. Right now, temperatures at 69 in Castle Rock, 72 in Greeley, and Fort Collins, 59 out towards Kremling. And our current wind speeds a little bit breezy up in the higher elevations, gusts up to 41 miles per hour on Berthoud Pass, but winds are pretty calm down here in the lower elevations, and those winds up in the mountains will relax after sunset tonight. Looking ahead to tomorrow, high temperatures will climb into the upper 70s, low 80s here on the Front Range. We have more sunshine and dry conditions. Another fire weather warning is in place through 8 p.m. tomorrow, but those rain chances going to pop up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then go up even higher by next Friday. I'll have the details ahead in Pinpoint Weather.
Well, new developments tonight as Denver Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy is out of jail. Take a look. This is video of him leaving the Arapahoe County Detention Center this morning. Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett saying the team is moving forward after Jeudy got arrested.
You know, I've had an opportunity to talk with Jerry, and we're going to move forward from this. We're going to learn from it as a team, and that's what it's all about. There's adversity, and it's how we respond from that adversity. So I think that's so important, and, you know, things happen, and we just have to learn from it.
Jeudy was released this morning after making his first court appearance, and that's when the woman involved in this case asked the judge to drop the charges. Now, even so, the judge says that's not possible because the case has already been filed. Now, Jeudy was arrested after the mother of his 1-month-old child called 911 and said Jeudy was not allowing her access to her personal belongings, things that include her wallet, the baby seat, and formula. Our Vicente is joining us with the latest on Jeudy's case.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking if the case will be dismissed because of what happened in court today. We just do not know yet. But anytime there is a domestic violence aspect that is brought forth with a charge like this, there are a certain set of rules and standards that must be followed by both police and courts.
Denver Bronco Jerry Jeudy left the courthouse after his first appearance before a judge. The wide receiver is charged with second-degree criminal tampering with the domestic violence enhancer, which is a misdemeanor.
May we ask you a quick question?
Jeudy spent the night in the Arapahoe County Jail after a woman, the mother of his 1-month-old child, accused him of not allowing her access to her wallet, baby car seat, and formula. Jeudy's attorney says the NFL player never should have been charged with the domestic violence enhancer.
It should only apply where there's a threat of violence, there's actual violence or attempted violence. None of that's here. Why does somebody have to spend the night in jail?
Today, the woman who called for help asked the judge to dismiss the charges. That could happen.
There's nothing improper about a victim coming forward and saying, I don't think this is as bad as it's been made out to be, or I changed my mind on this, or to recant these facts. That happens all the time. But it's the district attorney who has to make that decision.
The law is designed to help protect women from domestic violence. Counselors at the Porchlight Justice Center say they often see similar cases and say the law can help people from being hurt.
It allows arrest to occur where, like I said, it could be something that is maybe seemingly minor, but when you look at the history and the reasoning behind the act, it's a lot bigger.
Porchlight is not involved in the Judy case. Many now watching to see how the charges will impact Jerry Judy's future.
We're also being told that the reason this domestic violence aspect of this charge was brought forth is because there was a child involved. Judy is not expected back in court until May 31st. He is innocent until proven guilty. Vicente, 2 Prime News.
The last time we went shopping, there was just one container on the shelf.
Happening right now, a baby formula shortage is causing a nightmare for parents all across the country and right here at home in Colorado. This comes after a major manufacturer announced a voluntary recall back in February.
Today, the Biden administration says it's stepping in to help. Channel 2's Gabrielle joins us now with the plan.
Yeah, families and people working with infants here in Colorado say that definitely noticed an impact, but they've been finding ways to get their hands on some formula until the president's new plan kicks in.
Oh, this is our last can that we have, so I was looking to buy more, and it's sold out right now.
Like many other parents across the nation, Liz Hamill was looking to get some formula for her 3-month-old. She uses a special product for sensitive digestive systems and couldn't find it in stores.
I typically shop at the Orchard Target, and they were completely out of any of the Similac formulas, and you don't want to be changing a baby's formula because it really messes with their digestive system.
She ended up finding the product she needed on Amazon Canada. President Biden is hoping other parents are also able to get an assist for formula from another country, but the plan is for the government to expedite the product's importing. He's also calling on attorneys general around the nation to crack down on price gouging, and he made a move for the USDA to allow families on WIC to purchase different sizes and variations of formula that typically wouldn't be WIC eligible.
There is understandably a lot of concern from parents out there. They are having difficulty getting food for their infants.
Others in the community are helping to meet the need too. Rebecca Heinrich is the director of Mother's Milk Bank. She says the organization that collects and donates breast milk to hospitals and mothers in need has seen an increase in calls as formula becomes harder to find.
Happy to say that we do have milk available, but we are similar to what's going on in the stores. We are rationing. We want to make sure that we have enough for everybody.
And Mother's Milk Bank is collecting donations. If you're looking to donate, reach out to them and they will walk you through their screening process. We'll leave a link with their contact information over on KWGN.com. In Denver, Gabrielle Franklin, 2 Prime News.
All right, Gabrielle, thank you. Well, thousands of people attending a funeral in Jerusalem today for a journalist killed during an Israeli raid on the West Bank. Now, after the service, the casket of the Al Jazeera correspondent was carried out of the Catholic Church to her final resting place. Shireen Abu Akleh had been covering life for Palestinians living under Israeli military rule for the past 25 years now. It was a rare show of Palestinian nationalism in East Jerusalem, which was captured by Israeli forces back in 1967. But things quickly turned violent in the streets there. Take a look at this. Israeli police actually charged at the procession, hitting the pallbearers with batons. And many of those carrying the casket tried to keep them away, but they did eventually drop that casket before taking cover in the entrance of the building.
New developments in the case against WNBA star Brittany Griner as she remains behind bars in Russia. She was in court today. That's when a judge decided her pre-trial detention will be extended by 1 month. According to her lawyer, the relatively short extension indicates her case could go to trial soon. Griner has been in custody for nearly 3 months after being detained for allegedly having vape cartridges containing oil derived from cannabis. The 31-year-old Olympic gold medalist could face up to 10 years in a Russian prison. Russia now issuing a new threat after one of its northern neighbors said it's going to join NATO as fighting ramps up across parts of Ukraine.
Fox's Trey Yingst has more from Kyiv.
This is President Putin who caused this. Look at the mirror.
As the fighting in Ukraine escalates, NATO could soon be expanding to Russia's northern border. Finland announcing it will seek NATO membership despite a new threat from Moscow, which says it will move military resources to the Finnish border if Helsinki joins the alliance. But that's not deterring the Finnish government, and we could soon be getting a similar announcement from Sweden, which is poised to apply for membership after more than 70 years of neutrality.
A possible Swedish NATO membership would raise the threshold for military conflicts and thus have a conflict-preventing effect.
The NATO expansion comes as the Russians are retreating in northeast Ukraine, following major counteroffensives by Ukrainian forces there. But Russian shelling continues throughout the region, and on Thursday night, they allegedly hit schools and other civilian targets.
What can be achieved by destroying Ukrainian schools? All Russian commanders who give such orders are simply sick and incurable.
The Russians are also struggling to root out the last pocket of Ukrainian defenders holed up at a steel mill in Mariupol. Russian troops are getting closer. There was gunfire in the mill on Thursday, but overall, their eastern offensive remains largely stalled.
They're putting up a very stiff resistance in the Donbass and in the south. They have prevented the Russians from achieving virtually any of their strategic objectives thus far in the war.
The Ukrainians are also targeting the Russians on Snake Island in the Black Sea, trying to deny Moscow access to the coastline. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
After changes at the top of the company and hints from Elon Musk that more changes would be coming, his deal to buy Twitter now apparently on hold.
Coming up, what he wants to see before that deal goes through.
Plus, closures headed to downtown Denver as the Colfax Marathon comes back. We'll break down everything you need to know ahead of a busy weekend.
Pinpoint Weather, independently certified as most accurate 6 years in a row.
It's time to rise with Daybreak. You get all the news, plus Chris and Katie to lift your mood.
Weekday mornings on Colorado's very own Channel 2.
Well, developing tonight, Elon Musk's deal to take over Twitter is now in flux.
The Tesla Motors CEO says he's putting the move on pause. Fox Business correspondent Kelly O'Grady has more.
Elon Musk says he remains committed to acquiring Twitter, but he wants more information. The Tesla billionaire temporarily put his $44 billion deal on hold Friday, tweeting that he wanted to examine the number of spam accounts on the site. In a quarterly filing, Twitter estimated the accounts represent less than 5% of users, but admitted that may be too low, writing, quote, "We applied significant judgment, so our estimation of false or spam accounts may not accurately represent the actual number of such accounts."
Bots can be very, very intelligent, and whether you're able to properly assess that, I'm not sure how they do that.
Twitter accepted Musk's offer to purchase the social media company for $54.20 a share, but the deal hasn't been officially completed. Musk has been seeking additional investors to finance the bid. Some analysts wonder if Musk's announcement is an attempt to renegotiate a lower price.
We've seen Twitter trading at a significant discount to his $54.20 bid, and now with it trading sub 40, maybe he walks in and wants to renegotiate the price of the deal against the lousy equity markets.
Musk's tweet comes after he made some plans for Twitter's future, including possibly restoring former President Donald Trump's account. But he admitted earlier this week it's not a done deal.
So this is not like a thing that will definitely happen, because what if I don't own Twitter?
Musk will likely have to pay Twitter a $1 billion termination fee if he does not go through with the acquisition. In Los Angeles, Kelly O'Grady, Fox Business.
Back here in Colorado and happening tomorrow, it's the start of the Denver Colfax Marathon. Tomorrow is the 5K kickoff with the main race happening on Sunday. Skyfox over the setup earlier this evening. You see those tents already set up. We'll take a look at this course map. All the roads shaded in blue. Well, they'll be closed to vehicles if you need to travel north or south. You're being told to take I-25. That will be open. Now, all east-west roads south of Colfax will be open, and all roads 26 and above will also be open. Roads are expected to reopen reopen on a rolling basis after the last runner races on through.
All right, I know every person who runs or walks has a different temperature that he or she prefers,
Yes.
but it looks like it's going to be pretty nice both mornings for the races.
Yeah, I mean, when temperatures, you wake up, they're in the 50s, 60s. That's pretty good running conditions. It's going to be dry. We're going to see sunshine, so bring sunscreen, lots of water, of course. But it's going to be a pretty nice weekend overall. However, we will have some wind and high fire danger. And by the way, with all of the recent red flag warnings that we have had here across really northeastern Colorado, we've had 25 so far this year. And to date, that's the most we have seen. So we are breaking records here. In 2018, at this point, we had about 23. Back in 2017, we had 22. So again, 25 red flag warnings already this year. Pretty crazy. That's almost an entire month. Current advisories in place. We do have a fire weather watch just to the south of Denver here. We also have a red flag warning out for parts of southern Colorado as we head towards tomorrow. So again, that fire danger going to be the main concern heading into the weekend. If you're heading up camping or into the mountains, you want to have a campfire, just please check the restrictions of the counties before you do that. And of course, tonight on our Backus and Shanker Skycam, we do have some cloud cover. Unfortunately, no rain within those clouds. We could really use some of that. Current wind gusts up to about 41 miles per hour in Berthoud Pass, 32-mile-per-hour gusts in Vail Pass. We are seeing pretty quiet and calm conditions across the lower elevations, but these winds, although dying down in the overnight hours, they're going to return midday tomorrow. So again, if you're running that marathon in the morning hours, that wind not expected to be terrible. The strongest of the winds will be up into the mountains, especially those high peaks. We'll see gusts up to 40, 45 miles per hour there. It's going to be breezy at times here on the Front Range, mostly midday into the afternoon. And then after sunset tomorrow, once again, those winds will relax. That's the pattern we've been seeing for the last several days. Temperatures right now about 69 degrees at 72 up in Fort Collins and Loveland. Akron sitting at 72. Leadville, on the other hand, at 47 degrees. Lows tonight falling to 46 in Denver. Going to be a nice start tomorrow. 39 up in Estes Park. 27 up on Vail Pass. We are going to see, of course, pretty mild conditions to start tomorrow, especially in the southeastern corner of the state. Places like Colorado Springs starting off at 50 degrees. We'll see 43 in Akron. Eagle dropping to about 33. Telluride tomorrow morning to 41 degrees. And in your outdoor forecast, it's going to be warm, breezy, a lot of sunshine, a lot of dry conditions. We are going to see highs tomorrow hit the 80s across the north and east from Sterling all the way up towards Holyoke. 80 expected here in Denver and Brighton. We will see about 64 up in Fraser, Steamboat Springs, climbing to 68 degrees. And across the state, the western slope tomorrow climbing into the mid-80s for Grand Junction. It's going to be a hot day there, close to 90 down into Springfield. And on our future cast, we are going to see a little bit of cloud cover again tomorrow, but again, not expecting any precipitation from that. You can see by the afternoon, the clouds develop, they slide off towards the east, and we are clearing our skies by tomorrow night. But we do have some rain chances as we look ahead. The next 5 days, there is hope and there is relief on the way for our fire danger. You can see these light green shades here indicating a few tenths of an inch of precipitation. Now, we're not going to see any of that through the weekend, but we're going to start to see those chances go up to about 10% here in Denver. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you can see some of the rainfall accumulation that's expected throughout those days. Now, the chance is not all that high, but we are going to see those chances go up towards the end of next week and into next weekend. So that's an early warning if you have plans for next weekend. Could be a wet one, but we need it. And those temperatures will hit the 70s on Sunday. Other than that, we are expecting 80s for most of the week, close to 90 as we look ahead to Thursday. And there's that rain chance cooling us down to the 70s by Friday.
Coming up and all new at 7:30, a bear breaking into a vehicle in Larkspur, and wildlife experts say that bear was after something a lot of people have in their cars. More on what it is, all new tonight.
Plus, as you sign your kids up for summer sports, you may want to make sure they're playing more than one. We'll have details on what focusing on one sport can cause both physically and mentally.
Your Pinpoint Weather 7-day forecast is presented to you by L&L Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to bestdenverhvac.com.
We have a duty to you to bring the news to you as it happens accurately, but also we care about you. Life can be hard and we want to uplift your day. The Daybreak team is just like you. We love to get out and explore Colorado. That's why we care about the news we bring to you every morning. We have the biggest team in Colorado, so we can get to breaking news as soon as it happens. Weather, traffic, we cover it all on Daybreak. We have fun, we smile all morning long. These are the people you want to wake up with.
Daybreak with Chris and Katie, weekday mornings on Colorado's very own Channel 2.
We're back now on 2 Prime News with a consumer alert. Fort Collins police have a warning for you about a phone scam. The department tells us that someone is calling people saying that he is Officer Brady or Brandon Staggers and that the people must go to the police department or pay over the phone to have their warrants removed. This is a scam. If you get a call like it, hang up and call police. Remember, police will never ask for money over the phone, especially not in a form of gift card payments. All right, many of us rely on smart speakers for so many things. You can order things, you can get music, podcasts, so much more. Even get some help with your kids' math homework, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they've come a long way since Amazon's Alexa first came on the scene. Channel 2's Ashley Ryan has a look at Consumer Reports advice if you're ready to upgrade to the latest and greatest.
Alexa, add milk to my shopping list.
Hey Google, what's the weather forecast for today?
Alexa, is it time for an upgrade?
Smart speakers have changed a lot since the first Amazon Echo came out in 2014. Now, they're more versatile, smarter, and better sounding than ever. Sound quality is important if you love to listen to music on your smart speaker. Consumer Reports says the second generation Sonos One is among the best sounding speakers in its rating. And it's one of the few smart speakers that's compatible with both Amazon's Alexa and Google Assistant. If you'd prefer a smart speaker with a screen, the top performer is the Amazon Echo Show 10. It's great in the kitchen because you can use voice control instead of your dough-covered hands. However, it needs space about the size of a beach ball since the screen uses motion sensing technology to follow you around. Without that space, it could pose as a safety hazard.
I put a bottle of cooking oil a little bit too close to it, and when I walked around, the screen actually knocked over the bottle of cooking oil.
If you don't have room to spare, Consumer Reports suggests the second generation Amazon Echo Show 8, which has a stationary base. If you prefer a Google smart speaker, the Google Nest Audio is a good option. Some users find its interface more natural and easier to use than Alexa. Its sound quality is better than earlier generations. Now, if you're just looking for a smart speaker to listen to a podcast or the weather report, Consumer Reports says you don't have to spend a lot.
Pretty much every smart speaker works the same. That's because the functionality isn't in the speaker itself. It's actually in the servers that are up in the cloud.
For that, Consumer Reports suggests the fourth generation Amazon Echo Dot.
One thing to keep in mind, many smart speakers can be paired to better sounding wireless speakers you may already have. Ashley Ryan, 2 Prime News.
COVID cases once again rising here in Colorado and all around the world, causing some countries to go on lockdown.
Still ahead at 7, why lockdowns overseas are causing a supply shortage for crucial medical supplies and what some hospitals are now doing while they wait.
Plus, getting into a truck proved to be much easier for a bear in Larkspur than getting out. All new at 7:30. More of this video and what wildlife experts think he was after.
This is Colorado's very own Channel 2 Prime News.
First here at 7:30, we start in Larkspur, where a family was outside doing some yard work and got quite the surprise. Take a look at that. It's what's left after a bear locked themselves inside of a vehicle.
And as you can see from here, leaving a big mess behind. Channel 2's Ashley Michels has a look at what wildlife experts think he was after.
So many people are guilty of this, myself included. You're having a snack in the car, or the kiddos are having a snack in back. Somebody drops a crumb of something, maybe a French fry or a cracker, and you think, you know what, I'll vacuum it later. It's going to be okay. Well, not necessarily if there's a bear nearby. They're going to need more than a detail to clean up this mess. A truck trashed, and here's the culprit.
Bear got in, wind closed the door on it, and bears can't get out.
And when they can't get out,
some panic ensues, and the inside of the car gets trashed.
Pay particular attention to that car seat. Wildlife officials say it's possible its little passenger dropped a cracker or a French fry mom and dad didn't know about.
Bears are driven by their desire for calories, and they follow their nose. They can smell things from up to 5 miles away, so something as simple as chapstick, sunscreen, air fresheners, anything with those scents could potentially entice a bear to take a look inside.
Bear break-ins are a problem that happens across Colorado every spring and summer.
Yeah, so there's been 2 in Larkspur within the last 2.5 weeks or so. Larkspur is an area surrounded with great bear habitat.
He says Colorado Parks and Wildlife expects to see many more as this year continues.
Well, bear activity in general is picking up, and And so this could happen anywhere.
Luckily, we can be smarter than the average bear.
A simple measure for so many reasons, locking your car doors.
Because it's not so simple if and when one gets in.
What they ended up doing, they tied a rope to the door handle, and then from the safety of their garage, they pulled on it and opened the door, and the bear was able to run out just fine and ran off.
Now the big question, who pays to clean up this mess? Well, if you have insurance, you only get it covered if you have comprehensive. If you don't, you're the one who's on the hook. Ashley Michels, 2 Prime News.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Also developing tonight, 142 horses have now died due to an influenza outbreak at the Canyon City Wild Horse and Burro Factory. The federal agency that runs the facility says the wild horses, which are rounded up, are vaccinated. Governor Jared Polis reacting to the new numbers, saying he's deeply concerned, adding that the Department of Agriculture and State Veterinarian will regroup with the Bureau of Land Management and review the situation and then evaluate what can be done to avoid the situation in the future.
Cherry Creek Reservoir is now back open to boaters. It was closed for about a week after a man who was tubing fell into the water and never resurfaced. We are told that man was not wearing a life jacket. Crews have spent the past 6 days trying to recover the body, but they've been unsuccessful. CPW will continue to search difficult areas with an underwater drone. They say that'll not impact lake traffic. Now to new developments on a stabbing here at a doctor's office. Lakewood police say they've arrested the man who was in the video with a knife. They say he's 28-year-old Ross McPherson. He's being held on suspicion of attempted first-degree murder and felony menacing. The victim is a primary care doctor and suffered life-threatening injuries. President Joe Biden welcoming mayors and police chiefs from all across the country today to the White House.
With crime a top issue ahead of the midterm elections, the Biden administration unveiled how these cities are using money from last year's COVID relief package now on public safety measures. Fox News correspondent Madeleine Rivera has details out of Washington.
Attorney General Merrick Garland honoring the sacrifices of first responders with a ceremony at the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Friday. But as the country recognizes Police Week, officers nationwide say they're struggling.
We simply do not have the manpower to compete with these out-of-control events and the mass shootings and massacres.
With crime expected to be a core issue in the midterms, President Biden is highlighting his investments in public safety. The Biden administration says $10 billion from the American Rescue Plan has been committed to initiatives like job training, bonuses, and violence prevention programs. Still, he's encouraging cities and states to spend more of the COVID relief money to help bring down crime.
Taking action today is going to save lives tomorrow. So use the money.
The strategy is a shift from calls to defund the police, a stance many progressives took in light of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Our criminal justice system is fundamentally broken in this country.
Despite the Democrats' attempts to move from defund to refund, a Fox News poll shows 59% of voters disapprove of the president's handling of crime, a record Republicans are poised to attack.
Anti-police rhetoric has diminished morale. It has eroded public trust in our law enforcement.
The president's message comes ahead of the summer months when violent crime typically spikes, raising the urgency to try and prevent it. In Washington, Madeleine Rivera, Fox News.
I got off the floor. I put my finger in my chest, and the blood was just dripping down.
The Problem Solvers continue their investigative series tonight, highlighting teens getting guns. Now, tonight we're talking to a young shooting victim who's also been the man behind the trigger. Now, plus, what the violence prevention experts are saying about what you can be doing, whether you have kids or not. You don't want to miss it. That's tonight at 9 over on our news partners, Fox 31.
Across the country right now, gas prices once again hitting the highest on record. According to AAA, the nationwide average for a gallon of regular unleaded now sits at $4.43. That's up 16 cents from just last week. Here in Colorado, prices are down a whole penny from yesterday, averaging $4.11. And now energy experts are criticizing the Biden administration after it canceled 3 high-profile oil and gas lease sales, 2 in the Gulf of Mexico and 1 in Alaska. The block now means that millions of acres of offshore waters will not be developed for oil and gas, at least not anytime soon. The American Petroleum Institute says it could not come at a worse time.
Consumers are looking for relief. They're looking for more supply into the marketplace to help alleviate the prices that they're paying at the pump. And the administration is taking actions that are restricting more supplies into the marketplace.
For its part, the White House says the actions and questions were a result of a lack of interest from the industry and conflicting court rulings. In an effort to curb greenhouse gas emissions and reduce the impact of climate change, a growing number of companies are now launching new and inventive methods of green transportation.
In Washington, a company has unveiled a green ferry. Take a look at this. This is a Sea Change, a state-of-the-art ferry powered by hydrogen fuel cells that emit water and heat instead of harmful greenhouse gas emissions. The Coast Guard in Washington state is currently testing it, but by next month, officials expect the vessel will start shipping people across the nearby San Francisco Bay, where the clean, green energy provided by the hydrogen fuel cells will help the Sea Change transform how we travel without hurting the planet.
The shipping industry uses, on average, around 300 million tons a year of carbon-intensive fuels, emits, on average, about 1 billion tons of CO2 and other greenhouse gases a year.
This is interesting. Critics say hydrogen fuel cells are slow to roll out in commercial vehicles because of their high cost and sheer size. But that aside, the creators of the Sea Change hope to start seeing this technology powering not just larger ships, but also industrial factories as well.
Well, to your health alert tonight, scientists at the University of Cincinnati now say eating about a half cup of blueberries every day could help prevent dementia. Researchers studied local people there between 50 and 65 years old who also had weight and prediabetes problems, measuring cognitive abilities. The blueberry eating group showed improved cognitive performance as well as better metabolic functioning and fat-burning capabilities. The study is in the journal Nutrients.
Now to a Problem Solvers health alert on the benefits of taking a break from social media, something we probably all need. Researchers at the University of Bath in England say small breaks from social media can make big improvements in your mental health, especially for those using social media and dealing with anxiety or depression. Scientists say breaking away from social media for 9 hours gave great mental improvements. One medical expert says too much social media leads to comparisons, making people feel inadequate about their own lives and lowers self-esteem.
New details tonight on how COVID-19 lockdowns in China right now are leading to another shortage of medical supplies right here in the U.S. Some hospitals are forced to delay care for non-emergency medical issues amid an ongoing shortage of iodine solution commonly used in cardiac care, CT scans, and x-rays. The shortage on iodine solution follows the solution on a number of other medical devices being tracked from the FDA, from surgical gowns to syringes. These products are all manufactured in China and caught up in the lockdowns and supply chains snarls.
We have got to diversify our base of manufacturing out of China and other Southeastern Asian countries. We've got to do more domestic manufacturing and nearshore manufacturing of these critical products.
GE Healthcare says it's expanded production of the iodine solution at a manufacturing facility in Ireland. It expects to be up to 50% production capacity by the end of the week. It's also flying deliveries in from China and Ireland to expedite supply.
All right, parents, listen up. This story's for you. Kids focused on playing just one sport may have 2 health risks. This is all according to new research. University of Georgia researchers say they're at increased risk for injury and burnout. The scientists say specializing in one sport only risks repetitive use injuries because the same motions are used over and over. Researchers also say teenagers often mentally burn out from one sport and often leave it behind. The scientists say playing a diversity of sports can make people better in a primary sport.
A new album dropping today from Kendrick Lamar. It's his 5th studio album.
And it's good. Coming up, how the creators of South Park helped Kendrick with his latest music video for The Heart Part 5.
And I'm meteorologist Jessica Lebel. Our average high this time of year is 70 degrees. We're going to be well above that for the next several days before a big cool down. I'll let you know if the cool down comes with some rain chances ahead in Pinpoint Weather.
A wife desperately searching for her lost husband.
He's had a stroke. He's in the car. He doesn't know where he is.
It's one of Denver's most heart-pounding 911 calls you'll ever hear.
Something terrible happened.
Monday on Fox 31 News at 9.
Now check this out. Right now at 7, a new place is opening to hang out and have a little fun.
Yeah, and it looks like fun. Pindustry offering bowling, but with a very unique twist. Our Ken Clark explains.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Plopping this party boat right in the center of like Greenwood Village.
was a super smart idea on the owner's part.
There is nothing like it in the area. Over 50,000 square feet of fun for everyone, from little kids to adults.
Which we absolutely love. It's one of the things that, makes us uniquely Pindustry.
There's pinball, old school video games, skee ball, and ping pong.
Super fun atmosphere.
And new to me is duck pin bowling. Some know it as candlestick bowling.
Now it's back here, and it's kind of all the rage. And a lot of mothers will come in and say, oh, this is going to be so great for the kids, and it is. But once you start playing it, you're like, wait, this is harder than traditional 10-pin bowling, and so much fun.
And if you just like to chill out, you need to take a look at this. The huge top-level deck with cornhole and hammocks. And get this, they've only been here about a year.
You'll see a lot of changes coming here, and spoiler alert, but you're probably going to see a few more Pindustries in the Denver metropolitan area over the next, few years.
That looks like a lot of fun. Duck pin bowling. Yeah. That's my kind of bowling, because I certainly can't do the 10-pin kind. Yeah, that's what I need. Now to the creators of South Park. They're getting into the rap game, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Matt Stone and Trey Parker reportedly helping rapper Kendrick Lamar produce his new music video, The Heart Part 5. Now, in it, Lamar uses deep fake technology with help from the South Park creators to turn into O.J. Simpson, Will Smith, Kanye West, and other big-time celebrities. Now, Lamar has another project in the works with the South Park Masterminds. In early January, he announced his plan to work alongside them in a live-action comedy show.
The lookalikes, they're pretty real. Yeah. Developing right now another ski resort, calling it a season. Breckenridge will be closing this Sunday. Here's a live look at the mountain resort. The resort says, while it was trying to stay open through the end of the month, it is Mother Nature that ultimately has the say. It's been getting warmer, and the snow has been melting pretty quickly. If you're looking to get in some late season runs, A-Basin and Winter Park still have some lifts spinning. Now, with space news front and center this week, it seems fitting that there is a lunar eclipse going on this weekend.
Absolutely. Meteorologist Chris Tomer has a closer look.
Yeah, we should be able to see some of this in Colorado on Sunday night. We may not be able to catch the full eclipse, but only partial. I think we'll be able to see some of the red color here. This is what's called a total blood moon lunar eclipse. These times are in Eastern, but this is how it will look through the course of time. What is going to happen is the Earth is going to pass in between the sun and the moon, and that's why we're going to see this blood color take effect. So here, if you want to see it, we should be able to see it as far as timing here Sunday night between 8:59 Mountain Time and 11:23 p.m. The maximum point where the most redness would occur would be about 10:11 p.m. Now, as of right now, the weather looks fine Sunday night. To see this, the visibility looks okay. So good luck. Take a look at it Sunday night. Guys, back to you.
Send us pictures of it, too.
I know you're excited about this.
I'm very excited. Total lunar eclipses, to see the entire thing is pretty cool for us. And, of course, it's going to be during nighttime. We're all night owls here. So, hey, stay up late on Sunday. Check it out. Matt, you're on air at 10 p.m. All right, you guys, this weekend, of course, going to be gorgeous. We are going to see mostly clear skies Sunday night if you're trying to view that eclipse. But we will see a little bit of passing cloud cover tomorrow. Temperatures right around 80 degrees for your high on Saturday. And then looking ahead to Sunday, we will cool slightly into the upper 70s. We do have a weak cold front moving through, but it's not going to bring us any precipitation. We're going to keep sunshine, dry conditions, and clear skies. As low temperatures this weekend will be falling into the mid-40s. So it's going to be very mild as we look ahead through the weekend. We also have very warm conditions across most of the state for the next few days here. I do want to show you our fire weather warning map. We do have more fire weather warnings tomorrow. We've seen this for the last few days, and as I mentioned about a half hour ago, we did break the record for the most fire weather warnings year to date this year. So 25, this is going to be our 26th tomorrow. It's going to go in effect at about 11 a.m. tomorrow, continue through 8 p.m. We're going to pick up the winds up to about 30 miles per hour, pretty similar to what we have seen. Low humidity, and along with that, of course, we have the heat and the dry fuels. Temperatures out there tonight at 70 in Boulder, 42 up in Vail Pass, 66 in Briggsdale, at 72 in Akron tonight. And we don't have a lot of wind here. Denver. Across Metro Denver, the I-25 corridor in the eastern plains, not very gusty, but in the mountains for some spots, it's a different story. You can see those winds gusting to 45 miles per hour up in Berthoud Pass, and then Vail Pass also gusting up to about 30 miles an hour. Those winds will relax overnight tonight in the mountains and return midday tomorrow. So those lows tonight will fall to about the mid-40s in Denver. I am pinpointing about 41 in Cheyenne tomorrow morning, 39 in Lyman, Leadville, 28. We will see about 32 up in Steamboat Springs. So those mountains still falling below that freezing mark in many areas. So if you want to plant your flowers, maybe still wait a couple more weeks up there. Hourly planner looking ahead to tomorrow. Temperatures will hit those low 70s by about noon. It's going to be a great day to take lunch outside, maybe head out to the park for a picnic. Temperatures will hit those upper 70s, low 80s in most places. And you can see a lot of the northern front range tomorrow hitting the 80s. Longmont, Meade, all making it into those 80s. Greeley also expected to hit those low 80s, as well as Lochbuie down into Fort Lupton. Highs across the metro tomorrow ranging from about 79 in Broomfield to 81 in Englewood. We will see closer to 71 in the Evergreen area. Aurora Reservoir climbing into the upper 70s, and down south across our southern front range, I'm pinpointing about 75 for Perry Park, 77 up towards the Pinery, and a great day for Roxborough Park with temperatures climbing to 80 degrees. On our futurecast, we are going to see a little bit of passing cloud cover overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, but nonetheless not going to come with any precipitation. We are staying in this very dry, high fire danger weather pattern through the weekend. And by 2:30 tomorrow, you can see some of these clouds developing here. A lot of times we see those mountain wave clouds set up when we do have this windy weather pattern. And then by tomorrow evening, that cloud cover will shift out towards the east. We start to clear our skies here on the front range. So let's look ahead for the next 7 days in Denver. Not a lot of change until we head towards next week. Temperatures again hitting the 80s on Saturday, briefly cooling to the 70s on Sunday, but we're still sticking about the average high of 70 for the next 7 days here. So really warm, mild conditions. A 10% chance of rain will return to the forecast Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. Temperatures will hit those mid-80s. Thursday, we dry out briefly. High temperatures will be close to 90, and then you could see that rain chance moving in on Friday.
Next in sports, the Avalanche getting ready for round number 2 of the playoffs, where they're going to meet the St. Louis Blues. Hear from the Avs next.
A Colorado native, she understands Colorado weather. Catch meteorologist Jessica Lebel weeknights at 7 on 2 Prime News.
Morning in Colorado. It's time to rise with Daybreak.
We got our own style.
You get all the news, plus Chris and Katie to lift your mood.
It's a better vibe.
So rise with Daybreak.
Powered by Colorado's biggest news team.
Daybreak with Chris and Katie.
Weekday mornings on Colorado's very own Channel 2.
I'm Erica Gonzalez in the Fox 31 newsroom. You'll see tonight's breaking news first and live over at Fox 31 News at 9.
Been this way before, winning in dominant fashion in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but finding trouble in the second round.
Yeah, of course, you'll learn from every setback, right? And head coach Jared Bednar figures the team has had enough of those to make them the smartest and the hungriest in all of the NHL. Bruce Hurdle has more.
Hurry up and wait. It's a rare luxury in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I did yard work for 2 days. Spring cleaning.
The Avs have been here before. They're a staggering 16-2 over their last 4 opening series in the playoffs. Yet this group, or at least the core of it, has yet to advance past the second round.
I think our guys are really aware of, what happened last year, and they're eager not to repeat that and push through. So we've been doing a lot of talking about mental toughness.
Is that mental toughness then the key moving forward? I mean, they have the talent, depth, the speed, the defensive prowess, power play units. Darcy Kemper is back between the pipes. Look, I know the other team is trying too, but
just the collective buy-in from every guy was so high, and you could just feel it in the room and with guys talking, just the desire that we had to get the job done. You could just feel it resonate through our locker room, through every guy. So is that maybe a little mental toughness? Yeah, for sure.
Maybe that really has been the missing piece in the last 3 years. We'll see, because the Avs really haven't faced any postseason adversity yet. but it's coming.
Where it gets tough is when other teams, are really playing you well, and they're counterattacking you at the same sort of pace you are to them, and things are going to get tougher and tougher as you go, and you got to be able to continue to manage that and believe and have that buy-in when the time is right.
This is Bruce Hurdle reporting right there. Here's the good thing. The Avs have had a lot of time to rest. Anybody who was banged up, fresh legs, I think it's a good sign, right?
Time for yard work, and now they can get back into the, playing, and we're, of course, excited to see what they do.
Absolutely. They'll play sometime next week. We'll keep you updated as soon as we get the schedule, and we'll see you in an hour on Fox.